Welcome to the debut of the YouTube channel that will be here for social studies help for Grant County Middle School in the 6th grade. This is our very first broadcast, and this is a test to make sure that this is what you want to see and we know what we're doing here. First off, I'd like to give special thanks to Noah Cheney for helping me set this up, as we're going to go through our last common assessment, which was Unit 3 test. Those of you have already taken it, but you might be gearing up for a retake assessment. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to go over those learning targets with you so that you understand exactly how to get ready for your retake assessment so that you can improve upon your test score. If you're there for Learning Target 1, we defined key terms about the settlement patterns in North America, and there were several of those patterns out there as I'm shuffling through my materials here. And we start with Canada, which is on the settlement patterns. One of the very first terms we went with was ecumene, and if you recall, an ecumene is an area that is available or more suitable for humans to live in permanently. So examples of ecumene would be tropical areas, areas that have plentiful water, resources for shelter, and ways to make a living. Areas outside the ecumene would include the desert, the mountains, or the Arctic regions. Another key term was plural society. We used that to describe Canada because a plural society in Canada was a society that had a lot of different backgrounds and cultures. Canada has a lot of different things, from French influences to British influences, the Native American influences, as well as influences from Asia such as China and Japan. Pardon the announcement as Miss Arnold's coming on and dismissing some of the people to go to practice, it looks like. The other two terms from the Settlement Patterns chapter were very important. They were rural, a word that's very difficult to say, describes us here in the countryside. These are areas that are found in or living in areas that are not close to cities. And then you have the word urban, which is the opposite of rural, which deals with living in the city. So that's the key terms for the settlement patterns, which is Chapter 3. Now we move on to Chapter 5, which was the second half of the unit. Chapter 5 was on urban sprawl, and we had more terms in this one. The first one being metropolitan area. This is a major population center. I know in my classroom I referred to Metropolis in Superman, where he worked and did all his wonders in the comic book series and in the movies. And so the metropolitan area is a major urban area. Then you have rural fringe, and rural fringe is the Grant County community. We are not anywhere near a metropolitan area. Can you close that door? We're not anywhere near a metropolitan area. Cincinnati would be the closest one, and so that would put us outside the rural fringe. This is a small town and farms and open spaces that are around an urban area or a metropolitan area. Then we have urban fringe. This is towns that are located a little closer to that metropolitan area, such as Florence. Florence is a little closer to Cincinnati, and Florence would be a great example of being a city in the urban fringe. This would also give Florence to be another good example of being a suburb. A suburb is a developed area at the edge of a city, and so usually suburbs are found inside the urban fringe. This all describes urban sprawl, which is the rapid and sometimes often poorly planned spread of development. And so we got into planning and zoning commissions in the classroom to go through the process for what people would do in order to plan appropriately so they would have smart growth instead of sprawl. We did discuss that growth is good and growth is necessary in order for a community to make more money, but it's not necessarily going to be good if you do it unorganizedly and you don't watch what grows where, and then in the end you might have some problems down the road like Portland, Toronto, or Atlanta, and we'll talk about those problems in other learning targets. This will be learning target 1. I'll focus on other learning targets in the next video. Thank you for this test. Hopefully we're off and running, and we'll be doing this with every learning target for all future unit tests, and hopefully you guys can use this as a nice tool to help you prepare for all your common assessments to add on top of what we're doing in the classroom. Thank you.